This is the Tree of Life, Season 27, Chapter 8. In this episode, we will be explaining how the context length creates a filter in the dialectical degeneration. In Season 22, Chapter 8, we talked about how maintaining two contradictory ideas in the mind at the same time lengthens the time that the analog transitionary structure exists in sequential substitution. This causes bifurcation of perception, and the perception of the digital and analog stream simultaneously. In this episode, I would like to talk about sequential substitution from the perspective of what happens when a context length prevents full recursion. When there is a context length imposed on a subject, as it transitions from a reverse substitution event to a sequential substitution event, the full transition between two substitutionary impulses in digital form cannot occur. In this way, the reverse substitution event leads to the creation of the analog structure with substitutionary impulses, which cannot then become the second digital structure corresponding to the second set. This means that the analog substitutionary structure can only cycle back and forth between its analog form and the originating digital structure describing the first set. Thus, in this way, because the substitutionary set in preference shifting can be smaller than the originating set, the process cycles back and forth, acting as a filter. How does this filtering manifest? In the dialectical degeneration, which occurs within the substitution event. That is, the character of the thoughts described by each step from consensus is distinct and filtered through the substitutionary set. What we also see is that the bodily cycles or rhythms see a phase flip with the compelling of acquiescence. That is, the ordinary period of those cycles is truncated by the context length. And since the context length also maintains the filter, we can see that the non-truncation of those cycles, or the extension of those cycles, would dislodge the context length, turning that filter into a funnel. That is, we can see that there is a feedback loop between the bodily cycles or rhythms and infinite recursion precisely, because as these cycles lengthen, they dislodge the filter created by a restrictive context length. Likewise, the character of those internal states corresponding to the dialectical degeneration will be shaped by this filtering from set 1 to set 2. This all proves the importance of dislodging the bodily cycles or rhythms from their ordinary patterns in the creation of infinite recursion and the shifting of consensus which results. That's the end of the podcast for today.